Welcome back to my shop when you give your friend a Cricut. Today we will be taking a closer look at the Cricut scoring stylus. What it is, what it does, and how to use it. So you'll want to use your scoring stylus every time you need to make a fold in your project, such as a box, another folded card project, a greeting card, or an envelope. And you see where I have folded the envelope. Right here is the fold. That is the score line made by the scoring stylus. It is an indentation, slight indentation on your paper so that your fold is easy for you. As in this one, it's an accordion fold, but I had to tell Design Space to make me a score line in these areas that I have folded. Okay, here we are over in Design Space. We're going to scroll down and click on New Project. Okay, so I'm going to bring in a shape. Let's choose a square for today. Okay, here we have a square, and I'm going to resize my square to a 4x4. There we have. Maybe I will change my color over here to pink for today. And now I want to fold this in half when I use it in my project. So instead of guessing, I can go over here to shapes again. And you'll notice it's the very first one. This line right here is a score line. You click on that. It will show up as a dotted line. Okay, let's drag this over to our square, and it doesn't matter where you initially set it because we're going to drag a square around both of those items and then go up to align and center. Now my score line is in the middle of my square, and so when the scoring stylus works, it will go right down the middle and make it easier for me to fold this paper in half. So the next thing you will do is to attach your score line to your paper. So you need to make sure both of these are highlighted by the gray part in these. You'll notice when I click on the score line, this becomes gray. By clicking on my Shift key on my computer and then going down to the square and clicking the square, it will highlight both of those to gray. You can also select both items by using the drag, and then both of them will be highlighted. And when they are both highlighted, you can go down to Attach and click on Attach. And now your score line is attached and it is ready to cut and score. So the next you will just click on Make It. And this is how your project will show up on your mat. You will notice over to the left, it says Score and a Basic Cut. That means it will first do your score line with the scoring stylus, and then it will cut your shape out. And so if you're ready, you then just click on Continue. Okay, now that your machine has connected, you will notice that it tells you what
material you're using, cardstock. And over here, load tools and material. So this is where you need to load your scoring stylus, your 5-point blade, and then click on the arrow to begin. So let's go over to our machine.
Okay, once your paper is on your mat, we are going to load the mat at each edge, inserting the mat in the proper spaces underneath the little clip, and then you'll just push it in until it stops and click on this arrow. So your paper is loaded at this point. Now we need to load the scoring stylus. So we open the door, and your scoring stylus has an arrow. So when you put this into your slot, you need to push it down until you cannot see the arrow. Push it down, and we'll also close the door, and then open your cutting blade slot, and you have your fine point blade that you will load, and close the door, and click on the flashing go button, and it will begin cutting or scoring and then cutting. And we will release the paper by clicking on the flashing light again. Okay, let's take a look at our score line. And now it is easily folded in the middle. Okay, one tip when you're making your score lines, if you find that your line is just a little bit too faint, it just means that it needs to be a deeper score line and needs to have more pressure to the stylus. So this is what I do if I want a deeper score line with more pressure, is when I click on the go, I know that it's going to use the stylus first, so I'm going to press this while it's making the score line. And so now you have a deeper score line that you can see better, and it will also allow you to fold easier.